It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. All that and more coming up next.
Oh, the cold weather certainly helping set the stage for what should be a physical primetime contest at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. This taken in at the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Play action. Now Wilson. Buying time to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll take that 14 yards on play number 1.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
First carry for Najee Harris. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back there and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Throwing is Wilson. And that one too wide and incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Wilson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
They go play action now. Wilson. Into the hands of Williams across the formation. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Mike Williams, 30 yards. And the Steelers put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. Well, they spoke about the importance of getting off to a good start, and they're on their first drive, Charles, into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what an advantage for them. They're already clicking one drive in, didn't need to wait to get up to full speed. We had heard about the extra time they put in with each other, trying to learn each other's skills, what they like, the whole deal, and it paid off early in this one. I would expect them to keep firing on the next drive and keep that connection going.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. The Dolphins take the field with Tua Tagovailoa, their quarterback from Alabama, at the helm.
And when you watch him play, everything just looks like it comes so naturally to him. When he's dialed in and finds that zone, passes are crisp, he sees the field really well, and he takes charge as the leader of this offense.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. Now the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And it's incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little when Tua gets out of the pocket, but there he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Play action. Now it's Tua. This one thrown underneath to Achane. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua. Finding Waddle, crossing the field and bringing it in. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
In motion left, Hill. Off a play action, Tagovailoa. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now a 2nd and 10. A run straight ahead with Achane. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Here's Tua. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Tua Tagovailoa. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was Tua Tagovailoa who called his own number and finished it off with the touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So much of his game is focus and concentration. And whenever I see guys running the in route, I know that in the back of their mind, they're always wondering who's lurking inside that might put a big hit on them as they try and catch the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First catch so far by Pickens. It's good for a first down.
Someone's sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 34.
When teams practice their plays during the week, they're hoping that it's going to pay off on game day. So it sure has to feel good for them when they hit them during a game, and they hit that one there for big yardage.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Play action. It's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Washington. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
Now Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Now Wilson. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Calvin Austin from 21 yards away. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point now by Boswell. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. That time a 9-play drive. And in the end, a Calvin Austin touchdown grab finished the drive off. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So Miami coming out for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
2nd and 7. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little as a defense when Tua gets out of the pocket. You're worried about him scrambling and getting a first down. But there, he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to pass. Tua. Throw caught by Achane. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Taking it about the 16. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. To throw is Wilson. That is caught. It's Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson to throw. Austin brings in the quick throw. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. As they've got it as we resume action. Now it's Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
To throw again is Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well.
Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And here's Freiermuth again. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
They go play action with Wilson. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
I think this is a free play for Wilson. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 21. So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Wilson. It's Najee Harris now on back-to-back plays with a catch. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Throwing again here, Wilson. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. Only a yard in the completion. It's second and goal.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Here's Wilson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On third and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Boswell for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Coming out of the end zone, D. Eskridge. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27.
Hand off to Achane to begin the drive. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Now Tua. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Tua. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
When you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And he's had things all his way in this first half. The numbers sensational as he'll look to add to them with another drive here.
Wilson.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson.
Got his man, it's Warren.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid game to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
On the give, this is Harris. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
3rd down and 1.
Here's Wilson.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They run for it with Harris. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the first down either. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And this long drive is going to wind up yielding nothing. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
Back near his goal line, here's Tua. That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Up the middle, Achane. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Here now, 3rd and a yard. In motion comes the tight end left. They'll run for it with Achane. And they're going to get the first down here across the 15-yard line. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
In motion, Hill. Now Achane on 1st and 10. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you scramble a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. It's caught. Smith. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. Play action, now it's Tua. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Forced out to his left, and he's going to go down again. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steelers offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances, and he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. And he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Now 2nd and 5.
To throw is Wilson. And that's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Wilson to throw.
Setting up the screen, Harris.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away.
Malik Washington deep for Miami.
And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead, a handoff up the middle.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Tua, the final shot before half. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
In the first half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He got off to a hot start with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes, threw another for good measure in the 2nd quarter. So he has been on target throughout.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. On the return, Malik Washington. And he returns this to the 22. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. Two-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, try and slow things down a little bit.
On the handoff, it's Achane. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That second down play nets a -4.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this third and long. In motion, Hill. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. A short throw there, that's to Smythe, the tight end. Just a gain of a couple there. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They hand this off to Harris. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Harris. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Jordan Brooks on the tackle.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Now Wilson. He'll find Williams on the slant. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a give, running left is Harris. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it's second down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
This is caught, and in for the Steelers touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon.
And the Steelers take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game, throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point now by Boswell. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And in the end, it was Mike Williams who capped the drive with a touchdown reception.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Miami set to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their own 24. In motion, the tight end. Tua going to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Got a man. It's Berrios complete.
And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Tua sets up to pass it. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's second down and 8. Achane on the counter.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
That is caught. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there, because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
And they'll give this to Achane.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
2nd and 11. In motion, Hill. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Tyreek Hill, 30 yards. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. In racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed.
Sanders on for the extra point.
It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield.
That one is blown up by Jordan Brooks, the linebacker.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Now it's Wilson.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Mike McDaniel, he's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call, and out comes the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide, and I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They'll try the right side with Harris. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then at the last second, oh no, I better get down. And he ended up doing the right thing. But at that point, maybe close to let this slip away.
And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
A short one there to Freiermuth.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield, and if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a third down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Wilson.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. This to make it a 3-score game late. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
You want to be a boss? You got to pay the price. Left wrist on froze, look like a bag of ice. I'm driving a big tangle like all of my life. I'm in that thing shifting, I ain't switching. I'm standing straight.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Then the Dolphins getting set to go here.
And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter. Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game. And that continued with that 1st down run.
Looking to pass. Tua. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
T.J. Watt, his 2nd sack of the night.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this. And you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Tua.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 16. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is going to be intercepted.
It's the ex-Dolphin, Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Another solid game-changing play for this defense with the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control.
And you always hear about, you know, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play.
The offense has had its moments, too. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Delay of game. Offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still second down.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. They'll run again with Harris. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? First target, first catch, and a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's Wilson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And it'll be Dolphin football. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Tua. They set up the screen. Achane has it.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Tua. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
In motion, Hill. 4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out.
And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
In motion right, one of the tight ends.
They'll run. Here's Harris.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Good gain there on 1st down. And keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The slot man in motion right.
Now they fake the jet sweep there and a run instead with Harris.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really eliminate them. Not cool.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. But probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Throw caught by Achane.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On play action, here's Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll go. Achane.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. So a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Well, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. So it's a win here for the Steelers, and it was thanks largely due to the play of the quarterback, CD, a guy who's been doing it for a while, and that's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, there's no question who the star of this game was. What a performance throwing the football. Over 300 yards, 4 touchdown passes. That's quarterbacking at an elite level.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.
The Steelers earn the win at home as we say so long from Pittsburgh.